Penguins Hockey on Root Sports is brought to you by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. You're better with Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, rated #1 for plan satisfaction. By Western PA Toyota Dealers. Now's the time to go places with Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com for special offers. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
The Penguins have won 9 straight games against Tampa Bay. That's the longest winning streak against any team in the NHL right now. But the Tampa Bay Lightning at the moment are not any team in the NHL. They're right behind the Penguins in the Eastern Conference standings, Bob. A couple of great defensemen in this game here tonight I know you want to talk about.
Well, I really do. Chris Letang to me and Victor Hedman. Let's start with Letang. He's a guy that's got 8 points in his last 5 games. On Saturday against Columbus, he did that shorthanded. And then with just seconds left on the clock, he did that to tie it up and bring it to overtime. Victor Hedman, 6'6". What a season he had to start this year. He was injured with the hand. Still a point a game in 13 for Victor Hedman. He's doing a tremendous job. 2 of the elite defensemen in the league.
Well, if you look at his entire body of work, you'd have to say that Steven Stamkos is the best pure goal scorer in the National Hockey League, Bob. He's got only 2 in his last 8. I don't know if that's good news or bad news.
Well, he's got 2. He's got 5 assists to go along with that. Every time he comes into Pittsburgh, his team is 0-7, and he's got to look at Brooks Orpik. Tonight, he'll be looking at Letang and Martin, but with 17 on the season, always a threat.
All right, let's go down on the ice. It's the Pens and the Bolts tonight from Pittsburgh.
Please rise, remove your hats, and direct your attention to the flag above the scoreboard. At this time, please welcome back Miss Sarah Moritz, as together with one voice, we all sing the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rookies regular bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, looking forward to this matchup with two offensive powerhouses in the NHL right now. Here's our Rivers Casino tips to win, Bob.
There's the captain, Steven Stamkos, 17 goals. Got to watch him. Penguins got to get a better breakout on their power play to get to the offensive zone. It's just not working right now without Crosby. And that man, the ex-Lightning player, Steve Downey, always a factor in the hockey games, Dag. It'll be interesting to see what he has in store for Mr. Stamkos tonight.
He always has a lot of wins, but those numbers are really heady stuff for Marc-Andre Fleury this year. He's a leader in just about every category, or one of the leaders. And this guy is a leader in terms of size. 6'7". Ben Bishop in the net for Tampa Bay, our Hyundai starting goaltender.
Wow, he is mammoth. And he was hurt last year. Tampa really, their playoff hopes just diminished when Bishop went down. And Nabokov's the backup in Tampa now.
Tyler Johnson's unit starts for Tampa Bay. Kucherov and Killorn on the wings. Hedman moves it ahead to center. Right back to Hedman. He snaps it to the right wing. And it'll be dumped into the Penguin zone. The Lightning play a high-tempo game. They use all of their players, and they have a lot of scoring depth in their lineup. Barberio with a shot. That one went wide of the goal. That's that Strawman back in front. A scramble. And that was odd as Dupre went down, and the puck squirted free from the front of the net with Fleury scrambling to get back in the goal. Now here's Killorn cutting in behind his own net. He moves it out on the right wing. And across it now for Tyler Johnson at center. Ahead now to Hedman, and Hedman needs to get off. He's been out here since the start of the game. He'll turn and head over to the bench now as the Lightning get fresh troops on. Brendan Morrow tried to move it to the point. Knocked out of midair by Brian Boyle. Penguins get control now, and Paul Martin banks it off the glass out to center.
What a start already. Lightning had a great opportunity, and Simon Dupre laid out and blocked the shot as Marc-Andre Fleury was struggling back to the net, Staggy. What a save.
Bobby Farnham's on the ice now for the Penguins, and it comes out now to Conley. Conley guns one wide of the goal off the glass. And we'll show you Dupre's block when we get a chance. That was one of those desperation plays by Simon. Now back to get it into his own zone for the Penguins is Dupre, stopping in behind his own net. He played 17 minutes the other night against Columbus, with Bortuzzo getting injured in the second period. Bobby Farnham tips the puck into the offensive zone. In after it is Downey, the former Lightning Bolt, and he's on the ice now for Pittsburgh. Out to the point, Dupre with a wrister, just missed the net on the glove side of Bishop. Stamkos poked it free, but it's stolen away. And Bobby Farnham pushed it wide of the goal. Farnham with great energy out here in his first shift in the Penguin uniform on home ice. Played his first game against Columbus the other night. Filppula drops it off for Barberio. Mark Barberio to the left side of Filppula into the Penguin zone. He shoots it up high. Fleury the save. Filppula gets to his own rebound, moves it in behind the net. It squirts back to the opposite side where Craig Adams will take it. And Adams banks it ahead now. It'll be dumped in by Brian Rust to the corner. In after it is Andrew Ebbett. Ebbett, Rust, and Adams. Fourth line for the Penguins on the ice, but the Lightning come back, and it's a lead pass by Filppula. Now to the left wing, and Cedric Paquette couldn't carry it in. It was banked off the board and back to center by Brian Dumoulin. Dumoulin back in the lineup tonight with Bortuzzo injured.
A lot of dump ins for the Penguins early, and I like that. You know, if you're a guy that dumps and chases, stick with the dump and chase. The third, fourth line's doing it against Tampa. You don't want to turn it over against the NHL's second highest scoring team.
Malkin steps out of his own zone, looks to the right wing. Blake Comeau trying to get it deep. Hedman knocked it out of midair, but the Penguins do get it to the corner. Drouin shoved it around to the opposite side, and the Lightning just content to get the puck back to center, where it'll be taken by Chris Letang. And Letang looks up, nothing but white jerseys. Drouin heads over to the bench. Lightning change on the fly. And Paul Martin moves it up the left wing, where Klinkhammer dumps it into the zone. So Klinkhammer getting a chance to play on the left wing with Evgeny Malkin and Blake Comeau. He kind of graduated to that line over the weekend, getting a goal and an assist of the two games. Here's Tyler Johnson moving into the right wing. A centering pass and a save by Florian Killorn. Back out to Kucherov. Across the ice a shot, and that one is stopped in front, and now we get a penalty here against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think it's going to go against Chris Letang. Tyler Johnson, man, can he fly out there. 30 points in 31 games. He was up for Rookie of the Year last year.
Pittsburgh penalty, number
Listen
58,
for the penalty.
2 minutes for high sticking.
So the high stick in front of the net. There's the redirect initially by Killorn, and then Letang found himself with Johnson in front, and the stick right underneath the chin of Johnson. He's only 5'9", and Johnson got into the crease, and that's exactly where the Tampa Bay Lightning score a lot of goals this year. They get to that blue paint. Now they're getting to the power play.
They have the 9th ranked power play in the league. They've scored only 2 power play goals in their last 6 games. And their coach, John Cooper, wants their defense to shoot the puck more. They're one of the top scoring defensive units in the NHL. But he feels like they've kind of gotten away from shooting the puck. There's Killorn with it now to the corner. He wraps it around to the near side for Filppula. And out to Hedman. Victor Hedman to Filppula. His shot blocked in front. Filppula to the rebound. Callahan looks for it, the former Ranger. Puck pinballs around and out to Hedman to the right side. He looked for Stamkos. Now Filppula takes it. Stamkos goes out to the blue line. They work it down low to Killorn. Callahan in the slot. Filppula to Hedman. Mishandles it. And Spalling has no stick, or he might have charged right out at him. Here's Stamkos firing, and that was deflected away from the net. Filppula with it again. Valtteri Filppula to the circle. Works it down low for Killorn. Stamkos moves over to take the pass at the right point. 57 seconds to go on the penalty. Stamkos sets it up. Hedman slap pass to Stamkos. They're not shooting the puck. Hedman with it now to the right side. Filppula holding it. They're just not pulling the trigger. Hedman with it again, straight away. Shoots this time. Blocked by Sutter. Still got to the net. Rebound try. Fleury on his back. And the puck stays out.
I don't know how it stayed out. Marc-Andre Fleury jammed his whole body against that post to his left side, his glove hand. No stick. You would have thought Spalling was so close to the bench that he would have grabbed a stick at some point while killing that penalty, but without that stick, and Stamkos was playing the right point the whole power play.
Johnson, Conley, Drouin up front right now for the Lightning. Kucherov playing the point on the second power play unit, and he can't hold it in. He's paired up with Anton Strawman at the points, but now only 7 seconds remaining, so Kucherov failing to keep that puck in prevented the Lightning from getting much more opportunity on this power play. It's over now. Letang steps on the ice, and he's behind the defense, but the Penguins couldn't get him the puck. It was cut off by former Ranger Anton Strawman, who had a tremendous series for the Rangers in the playoffs against the Penguins last year and earned himself a great contract with Tampa Bay. Lead pass for Malkin out of his reach, and that'll be an icing call against Pittsburgh.
They're not happy. They think that Malkin could have won that race back there. Not going to happen. Take a look at Marc-Andre Fleury. His save percentage while killing penalties is astronomical right here. And this one is he got bumped over by his own man Spalling. Somehow he's able to sprawl himself right to the corner of that post. Just got the armpit there in time on the backhand by Killorn. And they're going to take a look at that, guys. Take a look at the overhead possibly. They'll be looking at this in the situation room to see exactly where that save was made on Marc-Andre Fleury, and that's why we have a delay right now, because of this save. It was stopped, but where was the body position of Fleury? No, that puck did not go over the goal line. So they just wave it off. Does the official, Kelly Sutherland, waves it off. The NHL wanted to take another look at it. Wow, that was a showstopper there.
Sure was. Fabulous save by Fleury. He has been a tremendous penalty killer for the Penguins here since the 4th game of the season. His save percentage is through the roof as a penalty killing goaltender. He has been the Penguins' best penalty killer. Example right there. Ryan Boyle keeps it and dumps it in behind the net. Conley tried to play it on the wall. The Penguins get over. Good physical play there to get control of the puck. Dupre making the hit, and then Malkin moving the puck out for Como, who dumped it in. Behind the net, sent right back around. And up the wing come the Lightning. A lead pass off the stick of Boyle into the Penguin zone. Brian Dumoulin goes back to get it for Pittsburgh. 4 shots for the Lightning, 1 for the Penguins. Como, the center, trying to drag it into the zone. Now they set it up again at center ice, and Adams there. But now Callahan takes it away. Ahead into the middle for Matt Carl, the defenseman. Works it right side for Filppula. Filppula has Stamkos in front of the net. Doesn't go that way. Sets it up for Callahan. A shot and a save by Fleury. The rebound swept aside by Dumoulin. So Fleury has already made a couple of huge saves here with point-blank opportunities for Tampa Bay, and another icing call against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the Penguins under siege there. Marc-Andre Fleury makes a save on Callahan, who receives a pass from the point position. Wide open is Callahan. He's able to spin around. Marc-Andre Fleury square to that shot, and no vision. Our Super Mo, presented by Allegheny Health Network, shows that great positioning by Fleury. Absolutely perfect to his angle there, and he's been the #1 star so far.
Penguins have no shots. I said they had 1. They've got no shots yet. The 5 for the Lightning. Here's Stamkos firing wide of the goal on the stick side. 2 of the Lightning's 5 shots came by way of that power play opportunity. Now we get an offside call on Tampa Bay. We'll take a break.
Well, 5 shots for the Lightning early here in Pittsburgh. But Marc-Andre Fleury's been the difference, stopping Killorn point blank.
Look at our barrel leaders. This is an amazing stat for Pittsburgh against Tampa Bay. A 9-game win streak, 7 straight at home, outscoring the Lightning 38-14. Some wild, high-scoring affairs for the Penguins, where they've just filled the net against Tampa Bay. But this is a different Tampa Bay team this year. They've become an elite team in the National Hockey League under John Cooper. An amazing story in his own right, the coach of the Lightning. Started off as a high school coach. Went on to the USHL, was a lawyer, a public defender, and found himself suddenly a very good coach, and has risen all the way to being one of the best coaches in the NHL here in Tampa. For Tampa. Now the puck to the corner, and the Penguins trying to get that first shot on goal here. Battle for the puck. Downey in there, chopping at it to the corner for Marcel Goc. Goc brings it up the wall. And reverses it back down to the corner. Bobby Farnham looking for it. And the Penguins had a pretty good shift from their 4th line the first time out.
Yeah, Tampa's very aggressive. A great skating hockey team.
And this is their 3rd line now with Farnham. And there's a quick shot taken by Carl. And there's a shot from the D that John Cooper is looking for. And the save made by Fleury. Now Dupre hit the deck, but he gets back up at the corner, trying to work it free for Paul Martin behind the net. Martin with that long stick, able to pry the puck free somehow. Now looking for the puck, kicks it up to his stick, finds Dupre. And on the right wing is taken by Como.
A lot of talk on the Penguins bench as that puck came around the wall there. Heads up, as Tampa is really forcing the issue. Look out here.
Cedric Paquette wanted to get to the puck, but it's whacked away by Dupre. Didn't get it out. Drouin with it, shooting in the save by Fleury, and he will stop the music here. The Penguins having a tough time getting out of their own zone.
Marc-Andre Fleury holding the fort early in Pittsburgh against, a high-octane hockey club in the Tampa Bay Lightning. They've risen to 2nd in the National Hockey League, 3.35 goals a game. They're ahead of your Pittsburgh Penguins at 3.17. So,
and the Leafs are actually leading the league now, Bob. They're red hot, and they're scoring a lot of goals. So far, it's been mostly Tampa Bay in terms of the offense in this game. But the Penguins are holding the fort. Here's Filppula with it. Into the Penguin zone. Taken now by Callahan. He winds it in behind. Sutter there. He's bumped. Down the wall came Andre Schuster, who came to the Penguins prospect camp a couple of years ago. Andre Schuster, big tall defenseman, number 62. Lightning eventually signed him as a free agent. This is Christian Ehrhoff up the wall now for Hornquist. Into the middle now Spaulding. He'll carry into the Lightning zone. And he centered it. Sutter couldn't get to it. Cleared up the wall. Callahan had a stick on it, but crashing down along the boards is Patrick Hornquist. Klinkhammer follows on. Out to the point. Letang is shot. Callahan doing what he did a lot with the New York Rangers, throwing his body in front of that shot on his way to the bench.
I don't even think you needed to see the number there, did you, Staggy? You just knew who that was.
Now it's Como with it, and he goes to the point, but Scuderi had just come off the bench, and that's the back up now, and move it along for Brian Dumoulin. Dumoulin ahead with the right wing for Klinkhammer. One hands it under the stick of Como. In front he looked for Malkin, but a good read there by Brian Boyle, and quickly the Lightning counterattack. Conley dumps it to the corner. Brendan Morrow getting in after it. Game free for Scuderi. He wound it up the near side where Hedman backs up and fires, and the save made. Back out to Strowman, a shot. He was looking for a redirect there from Boyle, but he wasn't ready for that. Now Boyle looks for the puck in the corner. Big Brian Boyle, who played well also for the Rangers against the Penguins in the playoffs last year. Another good signing by Steve Yzerman and the Lightning. All part of why they're so successful this year so far. The Penguins come back now. Klinkhammer had to go to the bench. Malkin moves it to Como. The end of their shift. Here's Como shooting, and a save by Ben Bishop, his first of the hockey game. That was a good, hard shot by Como.
Farnham just ran over somebody, and then now Morrow's going at Farnham. Brendan Morrow just grabbed Farnham, and he's on top of him right now after Bobby Farnham ran into Strowman in the corner, Staggy. And you know he doesn't hesitate, nor does Brendan Morrow in stepping up for his teammate. And for Farnham, certainly isn't going to be invisible. The Penguins need a wake-up call right now. They got their first shot of the net 11 minutes into this first period of play. There's the initial hit and the response by Morrow. Well, Rick, you got your first shot on net there, the last shift. What are they doing so well to prevent you from getting to the O-zone?
Well, they're quick on us, and I think we're puck watching. We want to be a physical game, but you want to be physical, but you want to put the puck in areas, and right now we're kind of like in awe of them, and we got to start getting back to the work boots, put it in areas, and start hitting these guys.
You don't mind that response from Farnham, do you?
Well, that kid, when he's going to give 100%, that's a big one for us. Maybe that changed the momentum for us.
Thanks, Rick. Well, maybe it did. They needed a momentum change. Shots right now, 8-1 for Tampa. Marc-Andre Fleury has been huge in this hockey game so far, to say the least.
Penguins have a UPMC Sports Medicine power play. Drouin is serving the penalty right now, the second half of it. Brendan Morrow in the box as well. So the Pittsburgh Penguins end up on the power play with Bobby Farnham stirring the pot. So it worked on that occasion. Going out there and maybe shifting the momentum, as Rick Tocchet said, if the Penguins can cash in with a man advantage. Malkin to Letang. Sutter into the middle now for Hornquist. He tried to drag it around a man, couldn't do so. Strowman stood up on him, and now the Penguins will have to regroup in their own zone.
This is something they've been trying to get better at without Crosby in the lineup. Trying to get that puck possession on their entries in this power play, and so far 0 for 2, but a good stop by Letang. It's going the other way now.
Tyler Johnson with Filppula heading to the net. Here he is, and he whacked it wide of the net.
You know, he may have got the right pad on that, Staggy. I'm not sure, but that was a great little dish pass, and Marc-Andre Fleury just getting the top of the right pad on that. That was ticketed for the far corner.
Here's Como turning now, dropping it back. Dupre to Martin, a shot. And that's blocked by Boyle. Penguins trying to keep it in. Ooh, solid hit on the near side by Paquette on Dupre. Kind of caught him off balance, and Dupre went down pretty hard there. Lightning able to clear the puck.
Well, Rick Tocchet said they're putting a lot of pressure. They're using their skating legs, even on the penalty kill, Staggy, to take away time from the Pittsburgh Penguins. You see it again. It forces another turnover.
And the Lightning quickly dispatch the puck down the ice. The Penguins, with 21 power play goals in their first 13 games, have only 4 in their last 16. They could really use one here, but they're running out of time. 5 seconds to go on the penalty. Andrew Evatt for Downey. Up top now to Dupre, and the pass not there for Martin, and that'll do it. Onto the ice comes Jonathan Drouin, who was serving the other half of the 4-minute penalty to Brendan Morrow. Morrow went off a double minor for roughing. And Bobby Farnham also picking up a roughing penalty, by the way.
Take a look at the shorthanded opportunity. Johnson, there's the whack right there by Paquette, I believe, was it not, Staggy?
No, yes.
And a right pad save by Marc-Andre Fleury, and you see the long reach there, and I'll tell you, Penguins are fortunate that that man is ready to play right now. Whatever water he was drinking before the game, it's working right now. He's been spectacular.
Well, the Lightning have 9 shots. The Penguins have 1.
It was Filppula he stopped on that shorthanded opportunity.
Yes, it was. It was Filppula. There's the injury list for the Penguins. That's getting longer and longer. We're running out of room now on our graphics. Robert Bortuzzo, not a serious injury. He could be back pretty soon. Here's Letang with it now, and he banks it ahead to center ice. Penguins did not register a shot on their power play opportunity.
I'll tell you, Malkin was really frustrated after that power play, and he's still in conversation with Rick Tocchet right now. He's trying to calm him down. He was steaming after that power play.
Letang flips it to the net, and it's gloved down and held by Ben Bishop.
Bishop hasn't had much opportunity. Brian Dumoulin was a -2 in his last hockey game against the Rangers, but like any young guy, you want to get him back in right away, get his confidence back. He was a +16 in the minor leagues to lead the National Hockey League in the lead the American Hockey League in those numbers, Staggy. So you know he's a solid player.
Andrew Weber will take the face-off against Boyle. To the wall it comes, and Rust sends it in behind the net. Matt Carl there, pressured by Bobby Farnham, and Boyle banks it off the boards to center. Scuderi to Dumoulin. And Brian Dumoulin, left-hand shooting defenseman, playing the right side, dumps it in. Carl back to get it, Farnham in on the forecheck. Farnham wants you to dump the puck in, because what he wants to do is skate as fast as he possibly can and get there first, or if not, run right through somebody to get to the puck. He loves it. I think he likes running into the boards even. He doesn't even mind that. Now here's Klinkhammer shooting, and a save by Bishop. Rush to the puck behind the net on his backhand. Turns, moves it back towards the front of the net, but it's going to be cleared away and handled now by Conley. Boyle's without a stick, just trying to muscle his way out to center. Now it's taken by Dumoulin, and he'll skate the center ice with the Lightning in the midst of a change. He dumps it to the right wing corner. Malkin getting in after it against Jason Garrison. It squirts free for Stroman. Como for Malkin behind the net. Malkin with a reverse hit. Centers. Como was tightly checked and he couldn't really get a good shot away. Now Malkin hustles in there to retrieve the puck. Back up top for Dupre. A wrist shot. Never got through. Como was knocked down. The puck cleared by the Lightning. Dupre falls down. Kucherov down the wing. Turns to the backhand. Try to set it up. It goes to the front of the net. Killorn. Oh, Fleury makes another great save on Killorn. And he has been absolutely sensational here in the first period.
A couple opportunities. Killorn was stopped by the armpit of Fleury earlier, and he tried to go back to the well. He tried to go to the backhand there after Simone Dupre had stapled himself to the dasher board.
And the Lightning have dominated here in the first period. Shots are 10-2, and they could have 3 or 4 goals right now if not for the Flower. Adams after the puck, sends it in behind the net. Hedman barging his way up the wall. And Hedman dumps the puck into the Penguin zone and keeps on skating against Paul Martin. He's able to get there. Yeah, he beat the Martin to the puck just by skating full tilt. And now the Penguins quickly start right back out of their own zone, and Adams backhands the puck up into the corner. Letang gets in after it. Letang sends it behind the net, looking for Steve Downey. Downey and Adams going to work here along with Brandon Sutter. Downey for Sutter. Sutter trying to come to the net. Downey did draw a penalty. Fleury goes to the bench. Extra attacker comes on. It's Evgeny Malkin. He wants the puck. Letang finds him. Malkin tees it up. Takes the shot. Sets it up for Martin in the corner. Back behind the net for Sutter. Brandon Sutter hangs on to it. Martin with it. Across the ice. Malkin shooting, and it's blocked in front. Penguins maintain possession. Downey. And he gives it right to Drouin. And the Penguins will get a second power play opportunity.
Well, they get a chance to go up in this hockey game. They've been outplayed so far, but Marc-Andre Fleury has been absolutely spectacular. Another great save on Killorn. Well, Staggy, one of our keys tonight is the Steve Downey factor. He's got the puck here, 6'6" Zuster with a stick under the hands on Downey. He's able to draw a penalty, and the Penguins go to the power play with a chance to go up in this game.
That would be something after all that's happened so far with 3:16 to go in the first period. Marc-Andre Fleury has weathered a serious storm, a lightning storm. But the Penguins have a chance to take the lead on their second power play chance. They didn't register a shot on their first one. Garrison sends the puck down the ice as the Lightning win the faceoff, and the Penguins will have to start from their own zone here with their second man advantage. UPMC Sports Medicine power play. Malkin works it left wing. Ehrhoff, the defenseman, tried to get it to the net. Garrison blocked it. Penguins get over to make sure they maintain possession on this power play. And it's Malkin with it. Malkin, Sutter, Hornquist on the ice right now, along with Ehrhoff. And Letang, centering pass for Ehrhoff off the stick. He'll go get it, though. Filppula pressures him. Filppula does a good job to work it back to center. You've seen the shorthanded opportunity earlier by Filppula. And we've seen a lot of those against the Penguins here recently, so the Penguins will have to be careful. The Lightning have some dangerous players on their penalty killing unit. Here's Letang with it. Letang down the wing. Left it there for Sutter. Sutter steps in, trying to get it away from Matt Carl. He does, but Boyle over to get it. Boyle comes up the wall, and he just barges his way up the boards, but Malkin stepped in. Still, it's back to center ice where Hornquist will carry it right back into the offensive zone. Sutter goes to the bench. Malkin's still on the ice. The Penguins having a tough time getting possession here to set it up, and the Lightning able to clear. And Letang will go back to get it.
The whole bench, Staggy, is yelling, help him, help him. When a player gets the puck, but he's in a position down in the corner, you need more support, because you know the Lightning are coming. They're going to be aggressive. You need support.
Como left side. Dupree with a shot. It was a rebound. Fanning on it as he was coming to the net was Marcel Gottsch. He had a good opportunity there, and it just went off his stick. Now taken by Martin. Paul Martin goes left side. Dupree just took a good low shot that was stopped by Ben Bishop. Moves it along to Martin. 12 seconds on the penalty. A shot fired wide by Como on the one-timer. Now Dupree again shooting. Oh, that one just missed the net. Como with it again. 2 seconds on the penalty. Dupree. A slap shot kicked away by Ben Bishop. Another penalty coming up. It's going to be against Downey.
Hedman boxed him out. Downey put his stick in between the legs. The 6'6" man went down like a big tower. And the Downey factor is right there, yeah. He got his stick right into the hands of Hedman and locked him up. That was definitely a penalty. And for the Penguins, they had some great chances. Simon Dupree had some great chances, great shots from the blue line.
Coming up with the first intermission presented by your neighborhood Ford store with Rob and Jay. Dan Potash will speak with Rob Scuderi.
Stay, you mentioned about Simon Dupree the other day. He shoots with his head up, and on one occasion, one of his slap shots on that last power play, he was looking over way to his left and then bombed one in at Steve Downey's feet. It just wasn't redirected, but it was a really good shot.
Lightning on the power play again. They failed to score in their first opportunity, mostly because of Marc-Andre Fleury. They had 3 shots. Now they work it around again. Callahan's in the slot. Filppula on the near wing. Lost the puck, and the Penguins get a hold of it. Sutter wants to take off with it here. Skating back after him is Stamkos. Sutter shoots. He scores!
Brandon Sutter, he's got the long reach, and Victor Hedman rolled the dice. As the puck came around, Victor Hedman decided, should I step in? Yep, well, there goes Sutter. He's off to the races, and he loves that high shot. That shot may have actually been going wide. It hits the butt end. Watch, the stick of Bishop, and then it goes in the top shelf. It hit the butt end, the stick top of the Bishop, 6'6" netminder, Staggy, and it went right in behind him. So great opportunity right there for Sutter, and he cashed in.
The Pittsburgh Gold
Sutter's second shorthanded goal of the season is a beauty. And here's Kucherov with it now. He goes across the ice and a quick shot. Stopped by Fleury and they score on the rebound. I think Killorn finally got his goal. He had been robbed twice in this game. No, it is going to be Drouin getting the goal. I beg your pardon. Jonathan Drouin got it.
Yep, 27, not 17, and they just collapsed at the net. As the puck came over to the right side, Fleury had to move to his left, and he was kind of on an island almost right here. A wide open opportunity. There's the shot off the pads of Fleury, and the Penguins can't get to the rebound, and Drouin's able to tap in his second of the year. He's just really strong on his stick. The Penguins are looking at the puck instead of lifting the stick to Drouin. He's really strong down low there, wins that battle and ties it up at 1.
He had gone 19 games without a goal. I saw him in that pile there, saw that 7. I thought, did Killorn finally get it? No, but it was Drouin on the doorstep, jamming it in. It was 16 seconds to go in the period. It's a tie hockey game. So the Penguins get a shorty, but the Lightning come right back with a power play goal. Schuster into the slot for Stamkos. He tried to direct it to the net, but it came to the near wall, and the Penguins, Brandon Sutter takes it on the wing. Well, an entertaining period. Phenomenal goaltending by Marc-Andre Fleury. A nice shot by Brandon Sutter on the shorthanded goal, but the Lightning come back with a power play goal from the 19-year-old Jonathan Drouin to tie the game at 1. The Lightning out shooting the Penguins 12-5 in the first 20 minutes of play. Let's go to Robin Jay.
Staggy Bob, thanks very much. Jay, a long time for the Penguins to register really any shots. They get one shorthanded. No goals until the last minute of the period, and then each team gets a goal on special teams.
Yeah, ironic. You know, it was about the 11 minutes in, they got their first chance. Look, Tampa Bay's been playing. They're a hard, fast team. They do a 1-3-1. If you don't break it, you're not going to get any chances. And then finally, on the power play, I believe Como's the one guy that's swinging down deep, coming with speed, and he's the one that, in my opinion, opened up that last power play opportunity to lead the shots. He did a great job, and then obviously a great play by Sutter.
The two top teams in the Eastern Conference battling to a 1-1 tie after 20 minutes of play. Coming up, Dan Potash will talk to Brandon Sutter, plenty of analysis, plus Jay's Telestration when we return. Two of the most talented teams in hockey have battled to a 1-1 tie after one period of play. Of course, for the Penguins, a lot of their talent not actually out on the ice. Let's get an update with Dan Potash. Danny.
All right, Rob. Well, before the morning skate, our good friend Chris Kunitz on the ice in full gear under the watchful eye of strength and conditioning coach Mike Kadar. The veteran who's out of action with a foot fracture could join the team for practice later this week. And speaking of good friends, Pascal Dupuis also out for a spin. Again, he's been given the green light to work out, but not take on any contact. And trust me when I tell you he's in good spirits. He just passed me down here in the hallway and made fun of my hair. So we know that all is well with number 9. Staggy, take it away.
Thank you very much, Danny. And fortunately, the Penguins do have number 29 in their lineup, Marc-Andre Fleury. And there's Duper looking on, watching his good buddy Flowers put on the show in the first period against the Bolts. Game tied at 1. Tampa Bay out shooting Pittsburgh 12-5 in the first 20 minutes, and they were unreal. I think they changed goalies, Bob.
Yes, Nabokov is in there right now. I didn't see anything happen in that first period. I'm not sure why Nabokov would be in. Obviously, an issue with Bishop.
So, Evgeny Nabokov, who saw the Penguins in the playoffs a couple of years ago as a member of the New York Islanders. There's a chance coming to the goal. Backhand try. Fleury makes another save on Killorn. That's a hat trick of big saves on Killorn for Marc-Andre Fleury in this game.
Killorn's gone to the backhand 3 straight times. We'll see what happens if he gets another crack at Marc-Andre Fleury, but Fleury's so good in that breakaway situation, in the penalty shots, in the shootouts, and Marc-Andre Fleury, wow, again, stone cold robbery on Killorn. It looked like he maybe hit the side of the net at the end of it, Staggy.
He's got 7 goals this year, and he's gone 7 games without a goal. Killorn. He's probably talking to himself right now. He's going to see those pads and that armpit of Marc-Andre Fleury in his sleep tonight. Here's Gotch with it now. Oh, he gave it away behind the net. In front, Fanning on the shot. was J.T. Brown, and then a good opportunity on the rebound was stopped. As Paquette was right there in front of Fleury, so he makes 2 more saves. Now Scuderi dumps the puck in behind the goal. Hedman trying to get to the puck. Bobby Farnham hustling over though. Sends it back around to the near side. A race for the puck, and now number 6, Anton Strawman, is hurt. He is really laboring right now. He heads back to the bench for Tampa Bay. Another hit on the near side. Down there, J.T. Brown on Dumoulin. You hear the boards exploding here with body checks between these two clubs. Now handled in the center ice area by Sutter, who shoots it right to the goal, and Nabokov sweeps to the side. Lightning get up to ice in a hurry. Here's Stamkos with it. An offside is called. Nabokov 3-3-1 with a 2.81 goals against average. He's got a .897 save percentage, and there he is.
Let's go to Alex Killorn and his chances in the hockey game. The armpit of Fleury stopping that one. They had to go to replay. And then he had another backhand that was denied by Marc-Andre Fleury in the final one. Look at the super slow-mo. Fleury, he took away everything. Really no room there as he hit the outside of the goal post to the left side of Marc-Andre Fleury.
Penguins dump it in. Nabokov moves it to the corner. Barberio up the right wing to Callahan. Ryan Callahan waited, and a perfect pass on the tape. And it's dumped in now by Carl, and back to get it goes Paul Martin, and up around now for Hornquist. Pinching down on him was Barberio, but Hornquist stayed with it to jam it back out to neutral ice. Matt Carl with it. Having a good year. +7. Carl checks in with 3 goals and 8 points, and then they'll bring it back to center for a face-off here.
Kenny Nabokov, 7 games played on the season, 281 goals against, 897 save percentage. He got off to a real tough start for his start with Tampa Bay this year, Staggy. Of course, the Penguins faced him as he was a member of the Islanders a couple of years ago in the playoffs.
Schuster with it, sends it up the near wall. To the Penguin line where Andrew Ebbett got it ahead to Adams, and he'll dump it in. Nabokov hangs on to it, gave it to Boyle, back around for Schuster, picked up by Ebbett, in front of shot, score! Brian Rust, his first National Hockey League goal. The Bolts coughed it up, and Rust picked his spot.
Well, you talk about Rust. That was Rust for Nabokov. As he played that puck, he looked like he was calm. He tried to go up the middle of the ice. That was turned over by Boyle, and then when Rust found that puck in the slot, Nabokov was deep in his net. He just ripped it right over top of that glove hand. Nabokov, no chance. And Brian Rust had 10 goals in the American Hockey League to lead Wilkes-Barre on his call-up, and he's on the board with his first.
Played at Notre Dame. Quick shot there from the left wing. Is stopped by Fleury. Killorn had yet another opportunity. And now Malkin into the Lightning zone. And it's stripped away up the right wing. It comes to Johnson. Tyler Johnson tried to work it ahead to Killorn, but the Penguins break it up. Como to Ehrhoff, and up the wing now where it's steered in by Klinkhammer to the Lightning zone. Hedman leaves it behind the net for his partner Anton Strawman, who seems to be better now. He'll come to center and move it to the right side of Johnson. Tyler Johnson across the ice. Trying to set up Killorn. He has to retrieve the puck and send it back around for Johnson. Scuderi takes a man away from the puck, and now Ebbett trying to get a hold of it. That's Killorn working in behind the goals. The puck comes up the wall. Barberio reached out with one hand on the stick. Rust got in his face to prevent him from getting the puck. Good work by Rust as he kind of came up the wall a little bit higher there against Barberio. He couldn't pinch down on it. Rust playing on his off wing in that particular sequence in the defensive zone. Now a battle along the wall. Stamkos is there. Emerging with the puck is Sutter. Dumoulin tries the other side of the ice. Didn't get it out. Carl moved it down the boards. And there's a hit by Sutter on Callahan to get a hold of the puck. Sutter sends it in behind the defense. Barberio goes back to get it. Sutter into the forecheck. Great work to take it away. Tenacious forechecking. Shot. Great save by Nabokov on Spaulding. And that was a fantastic play by Sutter to set it all up. And now the puck up into the netting behind the goal.
Well, the Penguins didn't have their legs. They have them now. They're up by 1. Marc-Andre Fleury has been brilliant in the game. Nabokov, well, he missed his first opportunity to stop Rust, but he made a big save on Spaulding right there, and maybe a game saver. Again, he was deep in his net, took it right off the bicep. Spaulding was the man who let that shot go, and for Nabokov, his first save of the game was a large one.
Phenomenal forechecking effort by Sutter to get in there, get possession of the puck, set up Spaulding. And it was Andrew Ebbett, by the way, who made the pass out to Rust at 2:55. Those guys had played together in Wilkes-Barre, and as soon as he got the puck, he just identified that Rust was wide open in front of the goal, and he got it to him after the turnover by the goaltender, Nabokov. Now here's Letang with it, and he'll send it back in behind the net. Bobby Farnham on the ice. It's great to see the guys come up from Wilkes-Barre and make a contribution. Farnham drawing a power play earlier in the game. Rust getting a goal. We're going to get a face-off out at center ice here. We invite you to tweet the booth at Root Sports Pit using the hashtag PensBooth. Send your comments, questions, and thoughts about the Penguins. It's brought to you by Point Park University.
Well, you want to be noticed when you get called up, and certainly for Rust and Farnham, they've been noticed in their 2 hockey games. Farnham got plowed over in his first game in Columbus, and Rust was right there. He only played 6 minutes in the game, but he was noticed in a good way, and Farnham again, and Rust noticed in this one.
Ehrhoff, in a tough spot there, is able to backhand the puck back into the Lightning zone. Schuster goes back to get it. Here comes Bobby Farnham. Look out. Now the puck up the near wall. Gotch got it to the corner. Farnham distributed it behind the net. Down he goes crashing in there for the puck.
When you see a guy like Farnham do that, and you're the guy sitting on the bench, you kind of get excited. You get a smile, you get a little giddy, Staggy. When he gets a good hit in there, you're all cheers. So it's really good stuff to see Farnham and his energy.
Ehrhoff with that quick wrist shot off the stick of Downey. He goes behind the net, plays it in front. Farnham fanned on it. Now Dupree with the shot. It's blocked. Gosh trying to get hold of it. Brian Boyle comes away with the puck. Boyle, 6'7", dumps the puck to the corner, gets in after it. Oh man, 2 big boys there, Dupree and Boyle, and both of them went down. And you could feel the earth shake there.
Simon
under
Dupree.
our feet.
Well, yeah, Simon Dupree's not going to miss an opportunity. 87 hits, leads the Penguins coming into this hockey game. And this is textbook right here. That's just shoulder right to the chest. Just plastering him to the boards. Just a beautiful, beautiful hit. Supermo showing you that. Hit by Dupree. Yeah, a little pat from Gary Agnew. So you got Farnham on the offensive end, you got Dupree on the defensive end, and you got to slow down Tampa somehow. You got to use the body.
Hit by Paquette. He's a pretty physical player so far. We've seen him throw a dish out a couple of checks. Now down the wing comes Como. Loves to turn to the forehand, try to hand it to Malkin. Malkin couldn't carry the puck past Lightning defenders, but the puck does come to the goal and frozen by Nabokov. Ryan Rust celebrates his first NHL goal.
Welcome back inside Consol Energy Center, where the Penguins have a 2-1 lead here in the second period. And you would think that whenever Steve Downey faces the Lightning, he remembers that career year he had with them during the 2009-2010 season. He skated on a line with Steven Stamkos and Martin St. Louis, producing a career-high 22 goals and 46 points. Guys, as a whole, those 3 men put up 235 points. Not bad.
So Steve Downey has had experience of playing with elite players, which he was doing with Sidney Crosby. Sid was last in the lineup. Now a battle for the puck over there on the far wall, and Andrew Ebbett got it free. Back to Letang, a shot saved by Nabokov. Adams trying to get a hold of the puck in the corner. Another turnover, and Ebbett with a turning shot. The Lightning suddenly having trouble in their own zone, turning pucks over. Here's another chance here for Letang. Letang with a wrist shot, and Nabokov will glove it down and draw the whistle.
Well, we talked about Downey. Yeah, he can play with good players, but he can play against good players as well. And we remember back in March of 2010, wow, he got tangled up with Crosby. We thought that was going to be serious stuff for Sid. He was able to get up from that. And Downey's one of those guys you like to have on your team. You hate to play against him. And that's why the Penguins picked him up. Rick Tocchet knew him from Tampa.
Rick Peckham today, the voice of the Lightning, said to me today, my longtime friend, he said, there's Spaulding centering. He goes, I know you guys like Downey now, don't you? You didn't like him too much when he played for us, but you like him now. There you go. And that's pretty much sums him up, doesn't it?
are really getting to the forecheck here. They've controlled the puck a little more here in the second period of play, much like in Columbus. Once they get their footing underneath them, they had a poor period in period 1 in Columbus. Same thing here, but they turned it around.
You heard what Rick Tocchet said. The Penguins were kind of in awe of the Lightning in the first period. That's usually the opposite for the Penguins. It's usually the other team that's kind of in awe of them in the first. There's Schuster with it. Now across the ice to Garrison, and boom, Garrison actually broke his stick on that attempt. He's got a great slap shot, but he broke his stick. Let's hear from Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin as he breaks down the team's latest game against the Falcons and gets you ready for their next big matchup against the Chiefs. His live press conference tomorrow at noon on Root Sports.
Always a lot of talk on that Penguins bench. It's great to see the new staff coming in here. Simon Duprey talking to Gary Agnew right now. Rick Tocchet in conversation with Patrick Hornquist. A lot of new players, as we mentioned last game in Columbus. 12 different faces that night compared to what we saw against Columbus in the springtime. So you always have to communicate, try to figure this thing out.
Sent around to the near side, and Farnham's going to race back to the Lightning zone and get after it, but not fast enough because Hedman was there to earn the icing call. Sidney Crosby is over the infectious period of the mumps and could have returned today, according to Jim Rutherford, but the team is being cautious. And now Bo Bennett has symptoms for the mumps, and test results on him will be back tomorrow. 5 NHL teams affected by that. 15 players. And according to Jim Rutherford today, one staff member on a team, he did not identify who that person was. Up for grabs on the near wall. Taken now by Kucherov. Out to Hedman, a blast. Throwing his body in front of that was Steve Downey.
And then he yelled, Steggy. He came by the bench and went, woo! He was all excited. He was so pumped for that block. It was unbelievable.
He's a beauty. Here's Tyler Johnson with it. He fakes the shot, leaves it for Kucherov. Out now to Stroman, a blast. That one blocked. He's taken out by Farnham, and he banks it off the boards.
Yeah, he's excited for this one, Downey. You can't say it's just another game.
No, that's true. Kucherov into the slot. Chopping at it was Johnson just to get a stick on it, and then chopped it to the corner, and then allows Malkin to carry it back for the Penguins. Malkin left it there and is picked up by Como. Back to Martin. Martin tried to get it to the net. It's off a leg and up into the netting.
Let's take a look at Downey sacrificing the Downey factor in this game. Hedman. Oh, there it is. Stacking the pads, Downey. And then he gets up. He was fired up. Good stuff by Downey. A couple blocks in that shift. That's what the Penguins have to do right now. They're sacrificing. You get injuries down your lineup, gotta have it.
Good shot by Paul Martin after Malkin won the faceoff. Now it's Malkin, Como, and Rust.
Yeah, Rust gets a goal. He's on the big line now.
Rust reaches for the puck. This guy can play the game. That's what everybody says about him. And so let's watch him do it. Number 36. Letang back into his own zone. Moves it across to Paul Martin. And up to the middle now, Malkin. He's got a man hanging all over him. Brendan Morrow is just locked on to Malkin at center ice. Here's Conley. He lifts one and it's off a stick. And Letang and up into the netting.
We talked about Brian Rust. You know, he's really a goal scorer first, but stuff's going to happen on the ice like it did when Trop went after Farnham. Well, Rust said, heck with that. I'm going to jump right in here. I'm going to contribute that way. Tonight I'm going to contribute with my hands another way. And great stuff by Rust, who had 10 goals in the American Hockey League when he was called up.
And he had scored 2 in the previous game before the call-up. Garrison's shot is deflected away with a stick. Duprey able to work it to the corner. Stamkos and Ehrhoff battle. Now Duprey steps in to get a hold of it. He and Ryan Callahan go to work. And it's tough sledding over there on the far boards. Stays in the Penguin zone to the near side. Ehrhoff. Stamkos working to try to get to it, but Duprey's got it. Distant to the corner. Ehrhoff didn't have a stick and he wasn't there to play the puck. Callahan tried to keep it in, but it was pushed back out to center by the checking of Brandon Sutter. Garrison to Schuster. Tried to go right up the middle, and Sutter read that play, and he goes the other way. Sutter cutting in on the backhand, and he fired it wide. Filppula to the puck. Hornquist knocked it away from him. Sutter tried to go to the point where Spaulding was standing. Now Spaulding just puts the leg over the wall and steps into the bench. The Penguins change up as the Lightning come to center. Garrison, who played at the University of Minnesota Duluth with Matt Niskanen, the former Penguin defenseman. He dumped it in and went to the bench, and the Penguins' Brian Dumoulin's got it now. Ahead now to Gotch. Gotch dumps it in that area behind the defense and gets in after it against Carl. So does Farnham. So Gotch knows, I'll dump the puck, Bobby Farnham, and you go get it. Now the puck comes to the net, and it's held there by the Flower. We'll return to Pittsburgh, where the Penguins have weathered a storm and then taken a lead on the Lightning.
Well, Simon, you guys didn't get off to a great start in the hockey game, but you've had some big hits. Is that part of getting your momentum back?
Yeah, we definitely want to get some hits, and they're a very talented group on the other side, a lot of skill. So you want to take away their time and space and be physical on them.
You've had a couple of big hits and some big blocks, particularly in the last shift there. When does a defenseman know when the right time is to block, or another time where he shouldn't do that because he's going to screen his goalie?
On that play, he was coming in down the pipe, so desperation time, trying to get a block. If not, just trying to box out guys.
All right, stay desperate.
Thank you.
Dumoulin dumps it into the Lightning zone. Carl digs it off the wall and back around to the near side. Up the boards they come, and Drouin had it chopped away from him by Rust, and now it's poked back to neutral ice. Here's Como taking off. Como with a shot off the stick of Carl. Stays in play. In behind the net, Como pokes it free for Malkin. Out for Rust. Well, Rust was in position there, but Malkin couldn't get on the puck. We're going to get a penalty here. Yeah, a high stick. I believe.
Check. Yeah, they're going to check to see if Como drew any blood there or not.
This number 17 swings for high sticking.
Just a 2-minute call on Blake Como as he gets his stick up behind the net. Got that stick up on Matt Carl. There it is.
So the Lightning with a chance to tie this thing up as Como's stick got away from him a bit.
Or maybe it's a chance for Sutter to score another shorty.
Lightning are 1 for 2 with 5 shots. Penguins break it up. Spaulding back shorthanded. Looks for Letang, who just dishes it to the corner. Callahan, Stamkos, and Killorn up front. Filppula and Hedman on the points on the power play for Tampa Bay. Penguins have Sutter and Spaulding up top on the PK. Letang and Martin defensively. Stamkos, Filppula, Hedman. Stamkos, the shot, deflected away from the net. Filppula races in to get to the loose puck first. Hedman with it now. Hedman to Filppula. Killorn in the slot. Callahan on the goal line. Stamkos coming in the back door. Filppula looks for his options, and the puck goes off the stick of Callahan to the near side. Stamkos got over first. Back around to the far side. How many times have we talked about the Penguins' work ethic on their power play and how they're able to get the loose puck? That's what the Lightning are doing right now. This is Filppula with it. He looks for Stamkos. The pass went behind him, and he dived to try to keep it in. But it was Spaulding just getting enough on it to get it back to center. They go right back into the Penguin zone. Lightning changed some power play specialists. Callahan with it now. Callahan looks for Stralman at the right point. Anton Stralman. Filppula. Stralman shoots it right to the stick of Filppula. A shot and another great save by Fleury. That stick went off of Callahan right to Filppula. And Fleury again flying over to make the save.
So agile, he's able to read the puck, keep his feet underneath him, and get great movement for Marc-Andre Fleury. The follow pucks that are going across 50 feet across the ice. I mean, that's incredible stuff for Marc-Andre Fleury to work back and make that save. Look at him, twice was able to push off with the insides of his skates and get across to make that save on Filppula. He has been dynamite, Staggy. Incredible stuff.
He's putting on a clinic.
Oh, he really is. Short-handed. Nobody's been better. After 3 games, the Penguins really struggle after that. His save percentage is like .980 short-handed.
Going up tonight. Although they did get a power play goal from Jonathan Drouin in the first period, right? So that would make it go down a bit. Here's Kucherov back behind the net. Taken now by Scuderi. And Scuderi throws it up the middle of the ice. He found that lane and he gets it all the way down, and that's an icing call because the penalty had already expired.
Yeah, we just talked about that shorthanded save percentage for Fleury coming into the hockey game. Well, he has made save after save. 964 in the last 19 hockey games after that 667 in the first 3, and it's tough for a goaltender. You got Nabokov at the other end. Talk about tough for a goaltender coming in after the first period of play. And I believe it is an injury. I was talking to Brian Englund, who's doing the game for another network, Staggy, and he said he talked to the coach at the last break, and it was an injury to the netminder Bishop.
Scuderi couldn't get it out. Lightning holding it in. Loose puck. Malkin was able to whack it back to center. Andre Schuster moves it up the middle. Kucherov left side, the shot by Garrison, and another save by Marc-Andre Fleury. He's just stopping everything the Lightning are throwing at him. That was Tyler Johnson who pulled the trigger on that one.
Well, the key right now is if he's seeing it, he's going to stop it. I think that's a given here. Look at the Supermo. And it is, you know, he's looking at it in slow motion right now. Allegheny Health Network showing you that, looking it right into the glove, right into his eyes. And unless they get traffic in front of him, it's going to be a hard time trying to beat that man tonight.
Fleury has a really good record in games after he has the night off. He has been very sharp here. Thomas Greiss played on Saturday night in Columbus. Lightning win the draw. They were winning faceoffs in the first period. They're winning them again here in the second. And that's a big part of why they've been able to dominate here in terms of the shots. Another shot is blocked. Sent ahead now Bobby Farnham against Matt Carl. Farnham gets there first. Taps it over to the near corner for Marcel Gotch. Gotch reverses it back down low. Farnham races over to play it. So does Dupre. Dupre backhands it behind the goal line for Downey. Downey with a man right on him. Conley moves it to the corner for Dupre, who had moved up. He shoots it, and it goes right through the goal mouth. There's Bobby Farnham on the puck again, but he couldn't get it deep this time. And Brendan Morrow had it taken away by Dupre. Morrow had to stop anyway. He was going to the bench at the end of his shift. Now this is Barberio with Downey bearing down on him. Takes him off the puck. Andrew Ebbett goes to work. Ebbett trying to maintain possession behind the net. Barberio there. Downey runs him off the puck. But Callahan steps back to help out. Ahead now to Stamkos. Stamkos to the right wing and Filppula. He's on his backhand, hit by Spaulding. Centers for Stamkos. Great read by Letang. Picked it off, moved it to the near wall. Ebbett, who took a hit from Callahan, was able to clear the puck. Garrison back to it. Now Stamkos taking off. Great speed for the Lightning. Great tempo to this game. Callahan centers through the slot. Filppula over to the puck now for Tampa Bay. Brings it up high and sends it back down low. Stamkos got body position on Letang, but he hits Stamkos. Steven Stamkos with the puck though. Back out to the point to Garrison. His wrister blocked by Sutter. And it comes to Schuster. Back to his partner Garrison. Ahead now tipped in by J.T. Brown behind the net. Fleury stops it there. Letang's got it.
Good shift there. Stamkos ahead of steam. A couple of rushes for Tampa Bay. The Penguins did a good job shutting it down. The 3-on-2.
Sutter swung wide on Strawman and got a backhand shot off. Penguins get to the rebound. Hornquist out to Scuderi. Across to Ehrhoff drive, and he guns it wide of the goal. Scuderi with it again. Taps it behind the net. Como is there. Sutter and Hornquist go to the bench. Rust and Malkin come on. This is J.T. Brown with it. Turns away from Malkin. Lifts it over the glove of Rust, but not the glove of Scuderi. Scuderi able to keep it in with a good play. Now Paquette drops it back on defense. And Strawman able to work it back to neutral ice. Jonathan Drouin carries into the Penguin zone. Swoops into the middle. Drouin left it there for head to the shot. He rang it off the goalpost. And a centering pass by the defenseman Hedman, who moved up on the play. Now Paquette falling. Shot the puck. It was blocked. And it's taken by Scuderi up the left wing for Malkin. Malkin downshifts, cuts in, drops it off. Ehrhoff closing in, and he shot it wide. Letang with it at the right point. Letang brings it up high to Malkin. Now to Ehrhoff, another shot. That went off a stick. Johnson blocked it. Barberio in behind the net, sends it up the wall for Drouin. Letang backs up. Lead pass for Tyler Johnson goes in behind the net. Fleury pokes it away from Johnson. Letang races over to get it out. Now Gotch trying to get a hold of it. Johnson trying to go to the point to Carl. The Penguins very diligent on their defensive work here with their sticks, preventing the Lightning from making those plays. Now it's dumped in by Farnham to the corner. Taken now by Nabokov behind the net. Up for Kucherov. He steps out of his own zone. But Bobby Farnham all over the ice, gets back to the puck and leaves it for Letang. Over to Martin. Martin just chips it up into the Lightning zone, and getting in after it is Downey against Barberio. Downey turns out of the corner and turned it over to the Lightning, who then sent it across the ice. Killorn just threw it across the rink, and Letang able to drive it in, giving the Penguins a chance to change. Out of center now, taken by Adams, and Barberio and Klinkhammer got tangled up. We got a hand pass here, and that gives us a chance to take a breath, Bobby.
Yeah, still 2-1. Tampa's up in the pressure right now. Hedman off the goal post, under the armpit and off the post for the big man.
He has won 8 straight starts after a night off.
In this one tonight, Marc-Andre Fleury has faced 19 shots, many close range. That one, Filppula, a shorthanded opportunity. Killorn has had 3 glorious opportunities in the hockey game, and that one by Hedman ended up double hitting his second opportunity after the first one went off the goal post. So Marc-Andre Fleury always keeping the hips, hip flexors loose, the groins, working in the crease, doing that stretching. It's been dynamite once again for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Simon Dupre pulls away, looks to the right wing for Ebbett. The pass out of his reach, and then Morrow dumped it back in. And a whistle. Outside coming up here. At center ice, a face-off. Only 12 shots on goal for the Penguins. That means they've had a total of 7 here in the period. The Lightning with 8 for a total of 20.
Ben Bishop started the game for Tampa, faced 5 shots, gave up 1, and Nabokov gave up a goal on his first shot by Brian Rust to start this second period of play.
Ben Bishop sustained a lower body injury in the first inning, and he will not return to the game as Nabokov is in the net. Schuster to the puck, sends it up the wall. Out the center where Paul Martin snaps it along for Letang. Hands it off to Hornquist into the Lightning zone. Hornquist shoots it, and it's wide of the goal. Over to the near side, Paul Martin. Martin protecting the puck on the near wall. Against Stamkos, he's able to work it down low for Hornquist, who steps out. Hornquist tried to get it back to the front of the net, and he did get a shot away there. And Nabokov able to find the rebound, with Spaulding being boxed out there by Jason Garrison in front of the goal. The Automotive brings you a great day for hockey. Sidney Crosby, 4 points, a goal and 3 assists. Mark Recchi, his 800th career assist, and Ryan Malone had his first career hat trick back on this date in '06. It was a good year for the Penguins. That was when they really started to emerge as a great young team under Michael Therrien. They would make the playoffs that year, if you recall. Here's Malkin now taking the draw.
Yeah, you got Filppula out here with Stamkos and Callahan at the end of this second period. A big shift here for Pittsburgh.
And the Penguins able to control the puck in the offensive zone as Como sent it off a body to Brian Rust. Rust left it there for Malkin. Rust goes to the front of the net. Malkin trying to work the puck along for Como. Malkin is flattened here on the near boards by Callahan, and there will be a penalty on Ryan Callahan.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can get the first hit, but then you can't just grab a guy and throw him down to the ice. That's what Callahan did. So the puck came up the wall. Callahan got the initial contact, but then he wrapped up Malkin, stayed with him too long, and then threw him down to the ice with that bare hand. Super Mo showing you exactly the work of Callahan as he twists Malkin down and over. So this is a big opportunity for Pittsburgh. You'd love to get that insurance one on the board.
UPMC Sports Medicine power play. Sutter to take the draw. Sutter, Hornquist, and Malkin up front. Ehrhoff and Letang at the points. Penguins are 0 for 2 with a man advantage. 2 shots and a face-off loss there. The Lightning are able to get the win on the draw.
It's tough to beat Tyler Johnson on those face-offs. He is so small and he gets down so low. He's got that leverage. Sutter tried to get down there and match him, but Tyler Johnson goes as low as anybody for those face-offs, especially in the defensive zone. He's got the hands close together, gets a ton of leverage, and that was his best side over there to the right of Nabokov. Take a look at this face-off. Well, look how low he is. I mean, he's getting underneath the shoulders of Sutter. Sutter is low, but he gets even lower to win that face-off. Now you got Boyle. He's a big man at 6'6", and Sutter. Even Boyle gets low as he can for a 6'6" guy with tries to spread his legs as far as he can to get low. What a difference. You get Tyler Johnson once, then you got Brian Boyle the next time.
Hornquist drops it off to Malkin. Up top now to Letang. Letang fakes the shot. Finds Ehrhoff. Ehrhoff brings it in behind the net for Sutter. Over to get it is Hedman. And able to get to it. He's so big and strong, Victor Hedman. And he just took that puck and made it look so easy, and he got it all the way down the ice. Now he goes to the bench, and here come the Penguins back with a man advantage. Malkin to the right side. Letang takes the pass. Downey's on the ice in the high slot. Malkin with it. Puts it down low. Hornquist a shot. Save and rebound. Score! Steve Downey!
Now, first of all, I love the work of Hornquist getting himself available to the front of the net. And when he did that, he followed the puck in, he turned around and got a real good opportunity forehand. And then there he is, Steve Downey, the Downey factor, picking the puck up off the backside of Matthew Carl, off the shoulder of Nabokov. Then it hits the back of Matt Carl and just dribbles down into that blue paint. And he knocked it just before it hit the ice, Staggy, with that hand-eye coordination. Downey, he's been all over this game.
Nabokov tried to poke the puck away from Hornquist. It looked like it made a ramp right up his stick and then off Nabokov's shoulder. And the rebound created there for Downey, and you got to love how Downey just goes to the net. He and Hornquist love to go to that paint. Now we're down to 9 seconds in the period. The Penguins with a 2-goal lead in this game. And you look back at it, and Marc-Andre Fleury has been just such a big factor in this because of the great saves he's made. Just a phenomenal example of how your goaltender can really put you in a position to win a hockey game.
Yes, or put you in a position to lose it too. And Nabokov's not the guy Bishop is, I'll tell you that much. They had Lindback last year. He wasn't the man either. They need Bishop in the net. They're a good team, and they do have the qualities to come back, Staggy.
Yes, they do. Let's go to Robin J.
Pittsburgh Penguins looking for a 10th consecutive victory over the Tampa Bay Lightning. They lead 3-1 as we're getting ready for the start of the third period. If you're just joining us, here's what you've missed.
Penguins get a hold of it. Sutter wants to take off with it here. Skating back after him is Stamkos. Sutter shoots. He scores! Here's Kucherov with it now. He goes across the ice and a quick shot. Stopped by Fleury, and they score on the rebound. Nabokov hangs on to it. Gave it to Boyle. Back around for Schuster. Picked up by Evans. In front of shot. Score! Brian Rust! His first National Hockey League goal. Malkin with it. Puts it down low. Hornquist a shot. Save and rebound. Score! Steve Downey! Steve Downey. He's the subject of our conversation here between periods, Bob.
Well, he is, and he should be. He's had an impact in this hockey game, not just the goal. He's had some big hits and blocks as well. Let's take a look at his work. There he is laying out to make a block. He's excited about it. Big hits on Barberio in the offensive zone. And then on the power play, he got to the blue paint. And, you know, he reacts like he's done it a million times, Staggy. And you go back to that year he had, 09-10. He put up 46 points in the league. Those are big numbers, and for Steve Downey, he's having a great season so far for Pittsburgh, and with all the injuries, he really gets a chance to show what he's got.
What do you think of his personality, Bob? How has that affected the team? Just the way he conducts himself in the locker room and stuff.
Well, I think they missed a little bit of that, quite frankly. Max Talbot went away, and, you know, you have to have characters, and he's a real good character, not just on the ice, but off the ice. The guys love him. You know, he's not just funny. He's different. Guys like that are different off the ice, and you know, Steve Downey is just loved by his teammates. Plays the card games. Hope he's not checking for mumps right now. And he's just one of those guys that always keeps you guessing. He's got me guessing right now, Staggy.
I wouldn't blame him if he is. Here's Ehrhoff with it now, and he'll dump it up into the Lightning zone. Harrison back is hit. Puck up the wall and back out to center. Back goes Ehrhoff in an icing infraction against the Lightning. John Cooper was asked about mumps today, Bob, and I think he gave an interesting point. He said, I haven't heard any stories about how it's affecting any other, parts of society. Like, are there any schools that have the problem? Are there any other factions of the country that are being, affected by this breakout? He said, all I'm hearing about is how it's affecting National Hockey League players. And that's a good point. I haven't heard any other stories about mumps at all outside of what's happened in the NHL. There's Garrison with it now to the left wing. Taken there by Killorn. He tried to move it deep. It's backhanded by Dupre back up into the Lightning zone.
19 minutes, 26 seconds of the second period.
Downey's goal being announced now from Hornquist and Malkin at 19:26 that second period. Gino getting another point, giving him 37 on the season. Here's Filppula into the Penguin zone. His shot is blocked by Scuderi. Now Letang trying to flush it out of there behind the net. Stamkos turns with it. Stamkos has 8 goals against the Penguins. There's a shot blocked in front. Back out to Strawman and across now. Hedman with a blast. And that one kicked away to the near side.
I think it hit Callahan.
Was the man that it hit. Wanted to say that Stamkos has 8 career goals against the Penguins. 7 of them in Pittsburgh. Only 1 of them in Tampa Bay. And the puck gets past to Hedman. He'll go back into his own zone to get it. Victor Hedman missed 18 games with an injury. Fractured finger. Paul Martin goes back, makes a nice play on J.T. Brown to kind of tie him up with the stick and then get the puck. And now here's Drouin dancing, shooting, and he missed the goal.
Well, quick hands and quick feet there by Drouin. He tried to turn it. Looked like initially he was going to shoot a glove hand, and it went to the blocker side. I think it fooled everybody.
Had a little Patrick Kane look in him there, didn't he?
Wow.
He was dancing on the
yeah, he was really hopping there. And of course, he's already got the lone goal here for Tampa in this one.
They've been kind of breaking him in slowly, not giving him a whole lot of opportunity in key offensive situations, trying to get him to learn all aspects of the game. Now Brian Boyle going to work down low, tried to center it, and it came right back to Fleury, and he's able to freeze it at the side of the goal. This weekend, Jamie Dixon and his Pitt Panthers take the court at the Pete as they host the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. Catch all the action, tipping off live Saturday at 4 on Root Sports.
Well, Callahan's usually blocking a lot of opposition shots, but here he blocks his own man's shot. Down he goes. He doesn't wear the plastic devices over his skate staggy like a lot of the players do. And he blocks as many shots as anybody in the game for a forward, and I'm surprised he doesn't wear those devices over his boot.
Killorn with it now on his backhand. Malkin watches Killorn. He centers it. Slap shot by Johnson was blocked and is taken now by Brian Rust. Moves it up the boards, right back to Rust. Here he comes, coming to the goal. And Garrison poked it off his stick. Now Como back behind for Rust. Up the near side for Dupre. Malkin posts up inside the blue line as Dupre pinched down the boards. Malkin covers for him. As the battle continues on the wall, Dupre throws his shoulder into a man and got the puck to Malkin. His blast. Oh, man. Almost broke the glass with that one. Now Killorn can't get it out. Held in. Rust with a quick shot. Nabokov the save. Rust turns and goes to the bench. Garrison comes to center and dumps it in. And you wonder, Bob, about Brian Rust, because I don't know if he'd been up here if not for the injuries, and yet you look at him and you think maybe he belongs in the NHL. We'll find out after a few more games, I hope. Shot by Sutter, steered away by the goaltender Nabokov. People would say he's up here a little early, really, by standards, but maybe not. Here's Sutter with it in the slot, poked away by Hedman, taken by Stamkos to the corner in Hedman, and he headmans the puck to Filppula. Back pass to Strawman, who banks it off the boards with Letang right there, and now it's pushed back into the Penguin zone, and Paul Martin will retrieve it for Pittsburgh. Penguins up by 2 here, a little cushion here in the third period against the second highest scoring team in the league. Letang's blast off the blocker of Nabokov. Down into the puck. Callahan hits him. Puck stays with the Penguins though. Sutter dumps it to the right wing corner. Off the corner boards is taken by Filppula. Back to Strawman. Anton Strawman, who entered the game a plus 15.
Yeah, I think it's a great number. Tyler Johnson a plus 17. Palat, who's injured, a plus 15. Kucherov a plus 16. Wow, those are huge numbers in the plus minus category.
Conley tried to dump the puck in, but Boyle had fallen down and it hit him and ricocheted back to where Downey can carry it in. Looks for Gotch, but Conley got back to break up that pass. Now back into the corner, Barberio. Dumoulin and Brendan Morrow collided here on the near boards. As the puck goes to the far side, and Rob Klinkhammer going to work now for the Penguins. Matt Carl got it free. Now stepping in is Downey. Back into the corner now for Klinkhammer. He's hit by Boyle. Imagine being hit by that guy. 6'7", 244-pounder. Here's Dumoulin with it now. A wrister. Oh, good shot, just sailed wide. Carl is able to clear it back to center, and Dumoulin hustles over. Backing up Scuderi, who carries the puck now into the Lightning zone. He moves it to Klinkhammer. Knocked off his stick by J.T. Brown, but Klinkhammer still able to dump it into the Lightning end and then go to the bench.
Clock's your friend here if you're the Penguins. Just keep the puck deep. Force the Lightning to go 200 feet.
That's what they're doing. Here's Ehrhoff back to Dupre. Simon Dupre up the wall now for Adams. But he couldn't get it deep. Garrison broke it up. Now it's carried to center ice by Paquette. Cedric Paquette. Dumps it back into the corner. Drouin. Couldn't get it behind the net. Comes up the wall for Adams. Now Paquette dumps it right back into the Penguin zone. Paquette is from Gaspé, Quebec, way up north on the St. Lawrence River.
Good job there by Adams to get the puck out. Got to win those battles in your own zone, that gray area. Get it out.
This is Como moving it back out to the blue line. Letang steering his way into the slot, was hooked up a bit by Killorn. Stays with it though and backhands it behind the net for Malkin to Como. Como back to Gino, steps out, shoots it. Kabak the save, and right there is Rust trying to jam it in. He couldn't finish the play. Rust almost had another one. Letang holds it, shoots it, and it's wide of the goal. Now Como and Malkin converge on Jason Garrison, and Andre Schuster comes out of his own zone with a puck. Moves it up the right wing. Ryan Rust, good job. Back-checking pressure there by Rust. Took it away, preventing the Lightning from carrying into the Penguin zone. Now Malkin works it down into the corner. Rust is replaced by Hornquist. Malkin and Como remain on here as the Penguins want to complete the change, but right now they've got that puck in the offensive zone. Hornquist shoots it. Blocked. Stralman had it in his feet. Stralman now banks it off the boards. Letang holds it in, but it's off a stick and sails out of play on the far side.
Well, Brian Rutz has got one. You take advantage of opportunity. Nabokov denies him. Right there with the glove and the stick.
Well, he's only been with the Penguins for, well, a little over a week, so we are still getting to know Rob Klinkhammer, who grew up in Alberta, probably a Flames fan. He and his wife are also big fans of their cat, Minnie Kitty, who gets to try on all kinds of outfits, though I don't know if she really has a choice. The couple rescued her 7 years ago, and of course, as you can see, she's a big part of the family. And yes, Rob loves posting these pictures on his Twitter account. We'll get to know more about him, I'm sure, in the not too distant future, guys.
Here's Hornquist down to the corner. Hedman on him. Hornquist turns out in front. Spaulding jammed at it, and a save made by Nabokov. So Evgeny Nabokov coming up with some pretty big saves here to keep the Lightning within striking distance. Now here's Sutter at the side of the net, and Tyler Johnson takes off with it now for Tampa Bay. He dumps it to the left wing corner. Letang back to get it. Pressured by Stamkos. He sent it up the wall. Filppula had a stick on it, but now Hornquist able to move it back to center. The Lightning, for all their skill, are said to maybe not have enough jam in their game. We've heard that before. The Penguins have added a lot of jam to their game, and we've seen evidence of it here tonight. The Lightning certainly have a lot of skill, and they are fun to watch. Here's a shot by Spaulding, and it's steered away by Nabokov.
Yeah, I kind of like some of their jam. Tyler Johnson, he doesn't shy away. Stamkos has been hit. You got Callahan, you got Brendan Morrow.
Deflected in front. I think it hit a Lightning player. If it did, Brian Dumoulin has his first NHL goal.
Again, Steve Downey is on the ice for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and he's doing some yeoman work behind the net for Pittsburgh to try to get things loose. There he is, getting on the forecheck, mucking it up, twisting and turning, getting a little pick, and Brian Dumoulin through traffic may have one off a Lightning player right there. Yes, the skate of Hedman, and by the netminder Nabokov, give Dumoulin his first.
And you like to see that. Dumoulin with a tough game his last time out, getting an opportunity to play tonight. Didn't know when that next opportunity was coming, but Bortuzzo got hurt on Saturday. He gets back in and he scores his first NHL goal. and that was not his first good wrist shot that he took tonight. He took one earlier in the game that was a beauty that just missed the net. Now Dupre dumps the puck into the right wing corner. Barberio back to get it. And you think about what happened early in this game, and no one will know it when they look at the score sheet tomorrow or the accounts of this game in the newspaper. The Penguins up 4-1, but there's no question about it. The story of this game was Marc-Andre Fleury in the first period. Now here's Como with it, knocked away from him to the corner by Paquette. Puts it back down into the corner.
His first of the season and first in the NHL. Scored by number 8.
Now carrying it is J.T. Brown ahead for Paquette out of his reach. Scuderi goes back in an icing call against Tampa Bay. Congratulations to Brian Dumoulin. Playing in his 10th career game in the National Hockey League, his 4th this season. And he gets his first NHL goal.
Yeah, take a look. A lot of bodies. Hedman, 77, is going to put his skate out, I believe, and redirect this one. As Dumoulin just shoots it low on the ice, off the skate right there. The official kind of in the way, and Nabokov unable to track it in. And get pucks to the net, you'll be rewarded.
Scuderi with it now. Holds on to the puck. Sends it down into the corner. Bobby Farnham there, hit by Jason Garrison. Lightning systematically bring the puck out of their own zone. Drouin into the middle. Carried over the line now by J.T. Brown. Back behind the net and up the wall comes from Schuster. He hustles over and shoots it. Fleury had no idea that was coming, and it went right off his right pad. And he's able to freeze it. He felt that puck hit him. That's how he knew it was on goal.
Now from the Tampa dump in, the puck then rimmed hard around the wall. They get on the forecheck, get on Dumoulin and Scuderi. It comes around the wall, and just a quick shot to the net through traffic. Marc-Andre Fleury in good position. Look at Dumoulin boxing out T.J. Brown. So really good stuff there. Boxing out J.T. Brown, excuse me. Good stuff by Dumoulin.
Mike Johnston talked today about the depth of the Penguins organization on defense and the value of that. And he was asked about Derek Pouliot, who's doing a good job in Wilkes-Barre. Here's Hedman with a shot. That was blocked. Spaulding took that one, I think.
Hurt right off the hand, right off the fingers. And he lost his glove. He's got to come off.
Yeah, he's hurting right now. The puck loose in front and covered by Fleury.
Yeah, they might put Gotch over for the faceoff. Mike Johnson was looking for that. Depends on what side it's on. Gotch may be coming over if it's the left of Fleury, but that's not going to be good for Spaulding. You get those fingers, you can break those fingers quite easily. As a matter of fact, players have lost part of their fingers when blocking a shot just with their fingertips digging in. Oh boy, that's the open palm, and you could see that very easily. Many a broken hand, but you can't turn your glove that way. It's just instinct, right? Like you're playing baseball, but there's no padding in the palm of that glove. Now you got Downey and Conley whacking each other on this face-off.
Downey did pick up an assist on the Dumoulin goal. So he's got a goal and an assist this evening against his old club. He's talking up a storm right now.
Spaulding's got to go to the dressing room here, guys. He's walking across the players' bench here, and they're going to go look at that hand.
That hurts. Ask Ryan Callahan about that, because he's been injured on many occasions by blocking shots. This is Strawman with a blast. That hit something in front of the net. Hedman for Boyle. Boyle sends it down the wall for Conley. Now to Hedman in the slot to the backhand. Fleury makes the save. A rebound to the corner. Gotch. Morrow on him. Gotch swung around Morrow to get to the puck. Now he taps it over to Scuderi. And Rob Scuderi coolly manages the puck right now and moves it up the wall. Carried back to center by Gotch. He is stripped of the puck though. Jonathan Drouin bearing down on Scuderi. Drouin bumped off the puck beautifully by Downey, but Callahan's got it. Slap shot wide of the goal. Drouin to the puck again. Sends it back out to the point. Carl to Schuster. Andre Schuster looked for a redirect there by Drouin, and it went off the heel of a stick. Drouin sends it behind the net to Callahan. Callahan is hit by Dumoulin. Gotch got the stick up a bit on Tyler Johnson. Now he reaches in there for the puck, and Johnson got a stick on it to Drouin. He's hit by Gotch, and they continue to work hard. Drouin on the near wall. Back up top, shot. Carl shot, gloved by Fleury. He took it off the chest, and he'll hold on. And Lightning with a little bit of a surge there, but Fleury shuts the door again.
Yep, he shut it on Hedman as well. Another Downey, big shift. Well, we thought he would have an impact in this game. Steve Downie, the former Tampa Bay Lightning forward, and yes, he has. On Drouin, our Subway sandwich of the game, he has 6 hits to lead all players. And for Steve Downie, a goal and assist. He now has 5 goals and 10 assists on the season, 15 hockey games, and 114 penalty minutes coming in for Steve Downie.
Face off to the right of Flower. There still is a lot of time left in this game, almost a half a period. The Penguins up by 3. And Bob mentioned earlier that the Lightning are built to come back in games. But the Penguins remain tenacious here as Andrew Ebbett blocks a shot. Now Hornquist overskates, but Ebbett able to wind it back around to the right wing corner. Sutter over to get it. Sends it in behind the net. There's Hornquist on the puck. Turning and shooting, and a save made by Nabokov. Sutter bumps Garrison. And Barberio pried it through. Up the left wing. Tyler Johnson racing in. Dupre gets ahead of him. And Dupre, beautiful work there to stay with the puck. But now it's held in. But Garrison has to retreat to center ice where Barberio's got it. Fleury has no goal stick. It's right to his right. Now he reaches over and grabs it. And Ehrhoff over to play the puck. It's taken by Barberio, and the shot, and that hit a skate. Picked up by Brian Rust, who bangs it hard off the boards to get it out.
Hold on.
Taken now over the line by Barberio. He dropped it off. Tyler Johnson sent it down the wall and around now for Filppula. JT Brown sends it back to the near corner, and Barberio moving up sends it to the corner. Carried back up the wall by Brown. He finds a man coming off the bench. Drop pass. And Fleury makes another save. That time on Killorn, and now a little disturbance after the whistle. So the Lightning changing players on the fly and able to get a good chance here on Fleury. On an all-new edition of Penguins in the Room, right winger Blake Comeau is mic'd up. Pascal Dupuis discusses his latest health scare and shares his family's reaction to the news. All this and much more on In the Room, debuting tonight after postgame on Root Sports.
Well, Comeau goes to Columbus, his old squad. He picks up a goal. An overtime loss, a shootout loss, and then Steggy. That was a big hit right by the net. Brown, wow. And then now Downie having a great game against his old squad, Tampa Bay. Tang got really hit down there in the corner. He's feeling his way around the ice right now.
Paul Martin back to get it.
We might have something
on the hit.
Downie's getting into it. With
Brown
Brown.
and JT Brown. It's a pair of 23s down there.
I think Brown's going to take the penalty. Downie just went into his face as if to say, hey, settle down here. And it was Brown running around to start this shift. He tried to draw the attention of Chris Letang.
Tampa Bay penalty number
Took
23.
Letang real hard into the wall. And then the follow through on Klinkhammer. There's the punch to the head on Klinkhammer. So it's nice to have a guy like Steve Downie on your team. I got to admit that Klinkhammer didn't want anything to do with the guy. So leave him to your buddy Downie.
Roughing the call on Brown for punching Klinkhammer and then receiving a little bit from Downie. So Downie just continues to do the things he does well here tonight against his old team. Penguins are 1 for 3 on the power play, and there's a good shot by Letang that's gloved down by Nabokov. 7:28 to go in the third period.
Those power plays, the Penguins are trying to get the shot from the middle of the ice, and there Chris Letang just glided across to the middle of that ice. Got a real good shot that was deflected on the way in on Nabokov, as the Tampa Bay Lightning are really taking their time with the change.
Penguins have outshot the Lightning 10-8 here in the third period. Face off. Tyler Johnson again leaning in against Malkin, this time up for grabs, and the Penguins end up with a puck. Ehrhoff with it. Now Malkin. Letang. Ehrhoff. Legino, he wants the puck. Here he is. His shot redirected, and then a shot taken by Sutter off the left pad of Nabokov. Dancing with the puck in the corner is Letang. For Ehrhoff. Try to get it back to Letang. Letang able to keep it in for Hornquist, to Sutter. Now to Malkin. Malkin drops it back to Letang. Great skill play there. Malkin again, top of the circle. Back to Letang. To Malkin, the shot, and it's off of Carl. Sutter fell down trying to get to the puck. Lightning can't get it out. Another great play by Ehrhoff to keep it. Wrists it wide of the net. Sutter able to work it to Malkin. A minute to go on the penalty. Here's Letang to Malkin. Gino in front. Hornquist. Goal post. Beautiful turning shot, but he just missed. Hornquist again trying to go to the point, but finally the Lightning able to get it and clear it down. Fleury hurries the play along as the Lightning change penalty killer.
Great puck movement by the Penguins here. Really good. Move the puck high to low, left to right.
And now Hornquist working hard. And the Penguins able to maintain possession here on the power play with 30 seconds to go on the penalty. Here's Malkin barging around Hedman. And finally, the Bolts able to get to it and get it down the ice with 20 seconds to go on the penalty to J.T. Brown. Penguins up by 3. Here's Como. To the corner. Gotch. Dupre a shot. That's off the stick of Brian Boyle. And now Hedman lifts it out to center. Penalty over. Paquette and J.T. Brown go to work at center. And J.T. Brown out of the box. Backhands it into the Penguin zone. Dupre looks up. Uses the glass to get it out. Comes down to Callahan. He's hit by Adams at center ice. And the puck out of play on the far side.
Now the great power play set up for Pittsburgh. Puck movement. Tape-to-tape passes. At the end of it all was Hornquist off the pipe.
Pittsburgh 4 and Tampa Bay 1, Bob.
Yeah, it's happened 5 times. What has happened 5 times? When 2 players have scored their first NHL goals in the same game. Russ did it there. Dumoulin scores here. And for the 5th time in Penguins history, the last time it was done, Letang and Jordan Staal back in 2006.
Jordan Staal's goal was a shorthanded goal, if you recall, Bob, in New York.
And what do you think about Letang's? Was it a
wrist
goal?
shot.
Wrist shot for the point.
Yeah, I remember the shot. I can still see him scoring it in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, it might have been a 5-on-3.
I think you might be right. And then he went back down to the minors after that. Or was it back to junior, I think that was a year. What year was that again? Here's the shot. Stamkos with it now in the slot. Shoots it and it's blocked. Bring it up high now. Look at this skating by Drouin. You can see that he's got all the talent. It's just a matter of how much they're going to hold him back. When are they going to turn him loose and put him in a position to really use that offensive talent?
Falling back on the ice for Pittsburgh after going to the dressing room. That was 2006. And Staal and Letang did that.
I'm quite sure Letang went back, played one more year before coming up as a full-timer. Now it's after scoring his first NHL goal. Here's a shot by J.T. Brown wide of the net. Held in by Garrison. And up it comes down for J.T. Brown, who swings it back into the far corner. Garrison moves up, sends it behind the net. Lightning control the puck in the Penguin zone here. This is Paquette. He got tripped up. Lost the puck, and Ehrhoff, right wing for Adams. Barberio sent it up the wall for Killorn. And Killorn carries with authority into the Penguin zone, hands it off for Paquette. Not a good pass. And the Penguins on the puck quickly. Abbott to Adams. Abbott again, sends it ahead for Adams. No icing on the play. Back to get it goes Stralman. Stralman skates out of his own zone with Malkin confronting him. He goes around Malkin. Good skating by Anton Stralman to get it into the Penguin zone. And Fleury leaves it there for Letang. Up the right wing now. Como back to Letang. Errant pass. Kucherov with it to the goal. And he scores. He put it between the legs of Fleury. And for Nikita Kucherov, his 12th goal of the season. And right now, the Lightning are back to within 2 with 3:04 to go.
Well, you turn it over against a guy like Kucherov. We haven't talked much about him. 26 points, 27 now in 32 hockey games. He's got hands like you wouldn't believe. And take a look at his hands right here. There's the stick by Filppula. Turn the puck over. Backhand, forehand, 5-hole opens up the wickets, and the puck's in the net before you can blink. Letang was moving up the ice and puck hit him in the skate.
Yeah, Como's pass, not a good one there. And Kucherov takes advantage. Well, that's turnaround is fair play because earlier in the game, the Lightning turned the puck over and an errant play by the goaltender Nabokov that led to the goal by Brian Rust. So the Penguins turn the puck over and the Lightning take advantage of it.
Yeah, they still have time. You have to make sure if you're Pittsburgh, you don't take a penalty, protect the puck, keep it deep. Kucherov saw the poke check of Fleury come out there. It was a handsy move. Another great young player for Tampa after they had 2 Rookie of the Year finalists last year in Palat and Johnson.
Johnson stops up in the corner, centers down for Kucherov. To the bench goes Nabokov. We get an extra attacker on the ice. Strawman's shot. Filppula tried to knock it out of midair. Comes to the Penguins, Letang. Empty net to our right. Can the Penguins take advantage of that? Or will the Lightning get the next goal with still plenty of time left? As they pull the goalie between the 2 and 3 minute marks. We've seen that work in the past. There's Letang trying to get it out. It comes to Sutter. He backhands it. Now Downey trying to drag it with him, and he can't do it. And Drouin forced back to center nicely by Sutter. This is Stamkos with it. Shoots it down low. Fleury the save. He was just looking for a rebound there. Sutter couldn't get it out. Strawman liftily moves the puck along for Hedman to Stamkos. Down low it goes. Pass for Stamkos. He couldn't take it cleanly from Callahan, and the Lightning have to regroup. Lead pass up the middle for Killorn. Stamkos dumps it to the right wing boards, and Ehrhoff is there. Drouin hooking him as he went back for the puck. Now Malkin comes out of the corner with it to Hornquist. Empty net to the right, and Matt Carl able to take the puck at center. 1:34 to go. Good stick work there by Letang to block the shoot in. And now the Penguins just get the puck down the ice, but this will be icing against Pittsburgh. 1:26 to go in the game.
And that means time for a timeout as well. But they need 2, not 1. And we'll see if anybody calls it. Well, he's loving it. I'm loving it. And Steve Downey, our Medal's player of the game. Goal, assist, 6 hits, 3 blocks. Staggy. It's not over yet. Pittsburgh timeout.
It all started in the first period when Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, it really did. Alex Killorn, number 17, rod by Fleury right there. On the backhand, he went to the well a second time, did Killorn, and then to start the second period, yeah, the backhand again, no chance. He was shut down by that man. Number 29, Marc-Andre Fleury, looking for win number 17 here tonight.
Remember the pad save he made on Filppula too, shorthanded, where he whacked the puck out of midair? It just tipped off the toe of Fleury's right pad. It happened so quickly you could hardly tell that it even went off the goalie, but it did. And it's an example of another good save that Fleury made in the first period. That would have been a huge goal. But the Penguins ended up weathering the storm in the first and then taking over the game in the second. And early in the third. Here's Malkin with it now. Dupre steps up. Shoots it for the empty net, and it bounced wide of the goal, taken by Hedman. 1:01 remaining regulation time. The Lightning trying to get on the board and make this interesting if they can, but the Penguins, all they got to do is find a way to get that puck to the empty net. Not as easy as it looks. Here's Kucherov off the stick of Malkin, and it ricochets back into the Lightning zone. Jason Garrison. Maybe Fleury will shoot for the empty net.
He might.
Here's Stamkos into the Penguin zone. Fires the puck off a stick. Ehrhoff sent it up the wall, held in by Strawman. Now for Dupre. And Dupre just wants to get it out if he can, and he does lift it back to center. Drouin with it there. Now time really ticking away here. 22 seconds to go. Matt Carl moves it to the right wing. Drouin drives it into the Penguin zone. Fleury has a chance here. Here he goes. Fleury lifting it to center, but plenty of Lightning players are back.
Oh, the crowd was great, Staggy.
Yeah, they know. They're looking for it. Now here's Scuderi back around for Ehrhoff. Ahead now for Hornquist. 1 second to go. What a night for Marc-Andre Fleury. His 7th straight win against Tampa Bay. The Penguins' 10th consecutive win against the Lightning. And the final score 4-2.
Well, he may need a few more bicep curls, Marc-Andre Fleury, but no, he does not need any goaltending lessons tonight. I got to tell you, Staggy, that performance, again, performance night after night for Marc-Andre Fleury, making that Rutherford signing look like a genius right now. I got to tell you, Marc-Andre Fleury has been the best I've seen all year.
And his goals against average goes down here tonight, allowing 2 goals. Let's go to Robin Jay.